Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Okay. You guys are wonderful. Okay. Now it's time to bring up someone who you all know and love dearly, as I do. I love her madly. And this is, you know, I have a great upline, but honestly, Cindy Lapp has over the last year been as much my upline as anybody in the business. We help each other. It's a great testimony to the actual cooperative business model that we have together, and I really do love you, Cindy. A big hand for Cindy Lapp.
Thanks, Jimmy. So, anybody excited about their business?
Yeah.
So what's the downside to these events? Or let me just rephrase it. What's the downside to events?
You go back to your real life.
Exactly, right? So you go to events, and I'm just talking about events in general, right? You go and you get all excited, you go home, the dishes are in the sink, the kids are wanting you, there's life intervenes, work, and that excitement you left with disappears, right? We call that the suntan effect. We leave here golden brown, and in a week, we're pasty white, right? We're sickly, right? We're sickly. Well, that's not going to happen here, right? So we are actually going to, well, you're going to create it, but I'm going to help you create a roadmap, right? So that you can, next week, when you are pasty white, you can open it up and you will actually have an action plan that will forward your business, because we know that this is all important, right? But we're not really earning a lot of money right now. Now DTC is changing that for us, but we have to be in action, right? Can someone bring up that white paper? Yes, thank you. So I know there's some really new people here, and I know some of you've been through this before. So for the sake of the new people, we're gonna go through this whole thing for them. But for people who've been through this before, listen newly, right? Like I encourage every single person to participate. And so, what are action steps? Just shout it out. Like, what is that? What are they? What are
Stay
some?
connected.
Stay
Phone calls.
Stay connected.
Setting a schedule.
Keep inviting.
Phone calls, like conference calls.
Yeah.
Okay. What was
Setting a schedule.
Set a schedule.
Just like you would a job.
I heard invite. Yep, inviting.
Follow.
Events.
Follow up. Events. I think I'll spell it.
Accountability.
Follow up. I'll put FU. You know what that means. What else?
Accountability.
Thank you. This is huge. Accountability. Accountability. Ability. Okay. And there's more, right? That we could probably talk about action steps. It could be having a booth, having an event. You know, like it can be as individual as we all are here.
3 ways.
Yes, I like 3 ways. Where's Tracy? Okay, so you know, if you're brand new and you might not know, well, I think these are pretty self-explanatory. Phone calls, that could be, you know, with your team, for instance, or just with your upline, for instance. Accountability. This is huge, right? Huge, because what's the good news? What's the good news about being here in this business? We have no boss. What's the bad news?
We have no
We have no boss, right? And it's really easy not to do something. And we are all going to love you no matter what. right? And that makes it even easier. So it really takes something. That's what makes an entrepreneur successful, is to really get your head around accountability. I know that there was a time in my business, well, a couple times actually, where I pretended to do my business, right? I showed up to events. I was on every phone call. I talked to my upline. I was not in action. And nobody knew, right? I really got good at that. So this is a roadmap to help you avoid that. So get out a clean piece of paper. You don't rip it out, just turn to a clean piece of paper. And I want you to think about a goal. Now, the word goal can trigger some things for people. So it's not meant to trigger anybody here, right? If goal does not work for you, that word, choose something that serves you. It could be intention,
Target.
Pardon me?
Target.
Use something that serves you. But when I use the word goal, I think everyone knows what I mean by that. So a 90-day goal is a good place to start, but maybe you've been in the business longer and you want to do a year goal, or maybe 90 days is too big, and that's okay. All of this is meant to serve you. So feel free to change it so that it works for you. Write that at the top. What is your 90-day intention, goal, target? Like, what would you, it could be a rank, it could be dollars, it could be number of people you're going to speak to, it could be number of practitioners you're going to walk in and see. Again, what serves you? Because some people really are driven by the dollars in their business. Some people, they're driven by how many people can I talk to. Basically is the same. As David Collister taught us last year, a year before I think, our paycheck is our report card, right? So you can, whatever works for you, get clear on a 90 or whatever day, year goal, and write that down at the top. Okay, has everyone got something written down, or? No? Yes? Kind of? Okay. So underneath that, write down at least three action steps. They may be on this board, they may not be. That you're going to take this week towards that goal. And be specific without writing paragraphs. Like, I'm going to talk to 10 people, not just talk to people. I'm going to have 5 3-way calls with a prospect and my upline. Or try to be specific as you can be without writing paragraphs. So does everyone have 3 written down? And if you're, like if you feel like you're not sure or you need some support, don't worry about that because we're actually going to share that. You're going to find, with a partner, just real quick so that you can, there's something so powerful about speaking these things out loud to another person, right? It's part of accountability. So is there anyone that doesn't have 3 written down? Okay, great. So find a partner real quick. We're going to do this very quickly. Share those things, those action steps that you've written down with another person. And this would be a great time if you need some support or something. You can get, or let someone know. Okay, so go. You got about just a couple minutes.
With regard to your going in 90 days, what I'm asking is, are you exceedingly busy? Are you exceedingly busy that you never get
I was
Okay, if you haven't switched, make sure you give the other person time and switch.
No, that's not it. It reminds me of like, here's here. In your hands. So, next week.
Okay, you guys have just a little less than a minute, so start wrapping it up, please.
20 new, 20 new for reason, like what's it? And then 20.
Okay, did everyone, was everyone able to share? No. Anybody not? Okay, great. All right, so now, on this page, write down who you're going to be accountable to for those action steps. Okay, you guys are awesome. Who are you going to be accountable to? It doesn't have to be your upline. That is, I think, ideal, but it doesn't have to be. It could be, we've developed success buddies before. But pick someone that will stand for you.
And will not let you off the hook.
Exactly. It would be best not to pick, let's say, someone who,
Is on holiday in Hawaii?
exactly, that on holiday, or someone who will, like, as Joanne said, like, let you slide.
Or accountability partners.
Yeah, success buddy, accountability partner. But I would suggest letting your upline in on this, right? Like, this is what I've committed to, this is what I'm going to do, and these are the action steps I'm going to take, right? So, piggybacking on that wonderful exercise that Manfred put us through, right? Put us through, had us do.
Made us do.
Made us do. No, there are no slips of the tongue are accidental, right? Write down. So we're standing in, if you chose the 90 day, we're standing in 90 days from now. And you have accomplished that. What does that give you? Write that down.
Margarita.
Margarita, awesome. Write down, now that you've accomplished that, what does that give you? Okay, everybody got something? Again, this is to help you when you're pasty white, right? Like when you get home or you know, not feeling it that day. Like, I don't want to do my action steps today. I've been there so many times. I can look at what would that give me? What would that give me? I can stand in that place rather than, oh my gosh, right? Okay, so just a couple of people I'd love to hear from, and to actually, like I said, to verbalize this to your community is so powerful. So who would like to come up and just say what their goal is, the action steps they're going to take, and what that's going to give them in 90 days when they accomplish that? Who's Joanne? Please, Joanne. Yay!
What's shaking?
What's shaking? So I did mine a 2-week. I needed to shorten it up just a little bit. A lot of changes going on in my life with Jim being gone, so I wanted to just really focus on a couple, 2 weeks. So my 2-week target is talk to 10 new people, either about DTC or LifeWorks, depending on who they are. 1, get the business plan from Christine, because I really want to look at that and work with that. Also work with, I have a new business partner that just came on for DTC, his name is Mike, and just kind of see where he wants to go and what I can do to help him do that. And also set a schedule for myself now that I have a lot of free time. So that's those 3 things that I'm going to do. I'm going to be accountable to Nancy and also to our team call in the morning. And what that's going to give me at the end is I am so proud of myself for getting back on track and knowing where I'm headed.
Awesome. Okay, who else? Who else would like that privilege of sharing to the world what they're up to?
This is a team of leaders. Come on, guys.
Who else?
Don't be shy. We know you're not.
Who else, Carol? Who else, Jonna? Yes, Jonna. Oh, just be on camera. Yeah.
I guess our 90-day goal is that we want to go to New Jersey and work on some of our contacts in New Jersey. One of them being getting the physician for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Eagles and the athletic trainer for them to buy into the product, get into the product and figure out how they could grow their business and make suggestions to them. You know, like it doesn't have to be that every player takes it, but what if they got us one player and then that player became a spokesman for us? And then, you know, just, you know, the suggestion of, you know, having that athletic trainer talk to other athletic trainers and just like pass the word, you know, like just keep passing the word. And with the powerful person of the physician is the physician that we're talking to is a physician for and he's very holistic, and he works with the Flyers and the Eagles, and by doing that, we're hoping that we can grow our business. And the obstacle we had felt was, well, we're not in New Jersey right now, but we're feeling like, oh, with all that we've heard today, it doesn't matter where we are, we can do it.
Awesome. So, any other action steps?
It's actually making it happen, like buying the airplane ticket, getting the practitioner thing together, and then, you know, actual setting the appointments, and not just setting an appointment like making, like, let's have lunch. I really want to talk to you about.
Those are awesome action steps. Just something I've learned is in my goal setting is to actually set, like in this case, you might want to have spoken to so many, you know, like an actual number of coaches or players, or so, because what I know about setting an intention is that if you declare it, and it can be ridiculous sounding, like you're going to talk to 100 coaches or 100 managers or whatever, and it doesn't have to be that. I'm just giving this as an example. It's way more likely to happen than not. And I can't really explain that. That's been my experience, is that if I set, so just a little bit of coaching is like set a number for yourself that will actually intend and have those action steps that will support that intention.
Okay, great.
Okay, does that help? And Marcia, you're her upline. Yeah, Marcia can help you, and Lori can help you with that too. It's just, it's little tweaking like that that actually can make a huge difference in the outcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then what? How will you feel? I want to know.
Oh yeah, what will that give you? Once
Yeah.
you've accomplished, because you're going to get kind of square on the goal, but when you've done all that, what will that give you?
The feeling of, I can do this. You know, like, wow, I mean, that's a huge step for us to do. It's not just walking and talking to someone, it's actually going and talking to, I want to say, big players in the field. And by getting them involved, because we know them, that's part of it, that we can attempt them. But then we have the confidence that in the business that can just let it go. And actually even the financial freedom to be able, because we're trying to get a house, the financial freedom of, yeah, we can do this, we can get a house. You know, we're not like worried about that, you know.
So it's going to give you confidence, which will give you a house. Awesome.
Woo!
All right, we've got just, Carol, you want to come up? We just have a couple minutes left. And we'll hear from Miss Carol Papini.
Yay!
There we give her a round. You know, I just want to say that it takes courage, right, to come up here and do this, because we're actually like stepping out of the comfort zone, probably, hopefully. And so just want to acknowledge our volunteers because it takes courage. So what's your goal?
Okay, so my goal in less than 90 days is to get to silver or above again.
Yay.
How I'm going to do that is my very first thing that has been very challenging to me is setting a schedule and putting that time in for me into my business. And then I'm going to be talking to at least 2 new people every single day. Plus 2 plus 2 plus. And then I'm also going to spend 1+ hours a day on my follow-ups because I have lots of follow-ups to do, so at least that. And then my accountability is to Pilar. I'll be emailing Pilar every single day, as well as Lori. And also we have a team call that I'll be announcing my results for that. And what this will give me is not only extra bonuses, because we have extra bonuses happening right now in Life Force, to get back to those ranks, and also just a sense of relief of being able to break through that again, because I've been pretty stagnant lately, and so I'm excited about getting into action again.
Relief.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
relief.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, I think we're at the end of our time. Anybody have any questions? Or, you know, this is something that's very critical, I think, in the success going forward, right? Like, this is where the rubber hits the road. And so when you get unexcited, because that will happen, it will, I promise you. This is what you can refer to, you know, as long as your other notes. But this is it. This is what forwards our business, is how many lives are we going to change this week, right?
And the other thing to do is, if you lose your belief, watch these videos. Read
Right.
these stories
Yes.
again. It's a 2-minute time to click on and listen. Anytime you get down, just go and listen to a story. It will fire you back up in 2 minutes.
Remember what why you're doing it.
That's a great point, Christine. And I know what worked for me is when I was in that place, I got in communication about it. Whether it be, it almost always was my upline, but if they weren't available, I didn't wait till they were available. Don't wait. Call a cross-line buddy you've met this weekend. Call someone that you can reach out who's been there, done that can just listen. And it's amazing what that will do. Like, sometimes my upline didn't say one thing for me to do, but just communicating that and being heard was all I needed to get going again. So that's what really worked for me. So if you know, I would really recommend that. So thank you all. This was fun.
John?